welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to do a video to discuss ferrets' scents and smells. Oh, she's licking my ear. Oh, I love you, so sweet. You're so sweet. Did we do the video? We're doing the video. Okay, please hold. We'll get back to that. You all done kissing? Oh, you're so sweet. Oh, this sweet girl. Here you go, girl. Okay. So in this video, I'm going to share with you guys the things that I do to help control or to help manage the scent from my ferrets. Basically, ferrets have anal scent sacs, and they also have scent glands around their face and also in their skin throughout their body. So most ferrets in the United States are, before they're sold, probably around 4 to 6 weeks of age, roughly, give or take. This is not 100%, depends on where you're getting your ferret and a bunch of other variables, but they're spayed and neutered and descented. However, that process will not 100% eliminate the must smell. The truth of the matter is that your ferrets, you could take out the anal scent gland, you can descent till the cows come home. At the end of the day, your ferret still has scent glands around their face and throughout their skin and their body. And so they're gonna release this musty smell, and it's gonna happen. And it's not overwhelming and it's not overbearing, particularly if you are maintaining your ferret's care properly. That will contribute to how bad or how manageable the scent of your ferret is. So here are the tips and tricks that I use to help eliminate my ferret's stinky smell. Tip number 1 is bedding. I change out my ferret's bedding at least once a week. Now my ferrets have the Ferret Nation, and they kind of are free. So my ferrets are free roaming. They don't have to stay in this cage, although they do choose to sleep in here. They do that by choice. The cage is open. They come and go as they please. So in addition to changing all of this bedding at least once a week, washing it, I also change all of the bedding around their room. Here, I'm gonna do you a little shot of that. So here is their bed, and they have blankets everywhere, basically. Okay, so I wash their bedding. I don't use detergent with any kind of scent in it. So I either use Drif, which is the baby detergent. It's really expensive. Wasn't able to get it recently because of the pandemic. Basically everything and anything that you could possibly think of in the world is off the shelves. It's just now getting back. So in place of that, at the moment, I've been using All, which is free and clear. It has no, there's no scents, perfumes, or dyes in this. And I have been using that to wash their bedding. And then I do it in hot water and just wash and dry it like regular clothes. And the reason for that is if it had perfumes or dyes, it's irritating to their skin, and that's not really good for them. So I don't use any scents at all in the laundry, like washing their clothes. I don't use anything with scent. I also don't use dryer sheets. So sometimes it's a little staticky, but whatever. So washing their bedding is really important because they sleep in that, and that, if do this, pick up your ferret's bedding or stick your face near it, that will smell like your ferrets. So if you don't wash their bedding regularly, that smell is obviously gonna stay on their bedding, and you're gonna smell it more than you would if it was just your ferret that had the scent on them. So washing your bedding is very important. That helps. Tip number 2, litter boxes. Cleaning your litter boxes. I cannot stress enough how important it is, for me at least, to clean my ferret's litter boxes. I do this at least twice a day, sometimes more, depending on if I'm here. So I do it when I wake up in the morning, and then I do it when I get home from work, and typically before I go to bed. So, and the reason for that is that ferret poop stinks. That's just the bottom line. And so to eliminate that stinky smell, I clean their litter boxes. As of late, I have been putting their litter into a Pet Genie. So basically, they use these for children, but they also make them for pets. So I did have because they have their own room, and it's easier than like taking bags of feces up and down the stairs. I just had a trash can up here, but that trash can didn't really seal in the smell. So I got this little diaper genie from the pet store. It's amazing. It's great. I just dump it in there, close it off, and life is good. So that is what I've been using, and cleaning your ferret's litter box is so important. Tip number 3, for me, I learned that types of litter. So the type of litter that you use, in my opinion, I feel like plays a part. Now this is just a personal opinion, but I have used pine, right now I use paper pellets, okay? And paper pellets with no scent. You can buy them specifically for ferrets. However, if I'm being real with you guys, that stuff is expensive. And they upsell it by like $5 or $6 a bag because it's for small pets. In reality, it is the exact same paper pellets that you can buy for your cats, okay? So, with that in mind, if you're gonna use the cat paper pellets, which is the same as the ferret paper pellets, just make sure that you get the kind that has no scent. That is what I use, and I can get a 25-pound bag for like 15 bucks, whereas a 15-pound bag titled small pet litter is $20, and that just doesn't make any flippin' sense to me. Okay, but here's the thing. They sell different types of ferret litter. So right now I'm using paper pellets, but they also have pine pellets, which I personally think stink. I absolutely don't like it. Some people really like it and they think it's great at masking the odor, and they would rather smell the pine pellets than smell, so that's a personal preference. For me, I found that the pine pellets really didn't do such a great job. There's another type of pellets though that I do use sometimes, and I really, really like this, but it's expensive, but it's great, and it does really help with the odor, and it's not dusty at all. So I'm gonna grab the bag so I can show you guys, and then I'll show you what the paper pellets look like too. So types of litter kind of is a variable. It depends. It's your personal preference on what you like to smell and what like your preference. And so for me, just trying different types of pellet litter that was safe for ferrets was kind of where I found my happy medium. So right now I feel that paper pellets is the best, and that's what works best for me at the moment, aside from this brand over here that I'm going to show you. Hang on one second. So this is walnut shelf. It's pellets. It's natural. It has a ferret on the front, so it's for all of these animals. I don't know who uses this litter with their dog, but apparently the pet store thinks that you'd use it for your dog. So if any of you guys use pellet litter for your dog, please let me know. I'm just curious. But basically, this stuff is awesome, but it's like $8 a bag. So because I'm a nut and I scoop my litter boxes every 5 minutes, yeah. Or I use the paper pellets. So I'm going to show you guys the paper litter. I had to do this because this is all I could find, and I was out of litter. I'm not a fan of Marshall's products, mainly for a couple of reasons. Again, just personal. They're overpriced is the #1 reason. The second reason is a lot of times some of the stuff they sell, like, you shouldn't even give to your ferrets. So, but that's here or there. Basically, this is the pellet. This is the paper pellets. They look like this, and it's just paper pellets. And I use the pellets because I found if I use the crumpled up paper, the ferrets think it's a toy. They just want to play in the litter box, and that's like not the point. Okay, so here's how the diaper genie works, because it's super cool. So basically, my litter box is clean, but let's say it wasn't. Okay, so you would just scoop your litter like this, you put it in here, and then you just shut the lid, and you pull this. And then when you open it, it's not there anymore. Okay, so tip number 4 is bathing your ferret. But again, like I said in the beginning, this is not something that I really recommend that you do on a regular basis. So I wouldn't rely on bathing your ferret as your main or sole tool for helping with the scent. I would do this once every 2 months or so. I would not overdo it, and please use a shampoo that is specifically for ferrets or that is ferret safe. I don't use bathing as my source for maintaining or just controlling ferret odor. That's just not something that I do. But I do think that bathing your ferret is important, and sometimes it needs to be done. Also, cleaning their ears is another way. So that's kind of in the bathing. That's another way to help maintain just help with the scent a little bit too. Number 5, diet. What you feed your ferret will contribute to the smell, particularly the smell of their feces and their litter box. Ferrets are carnivorous. They should be eating a meat diet. They should not be eating any kind of vegetables, any kind of carbs, any of that good fun stuff. They should be eating a meat-based diet. If you are feeding raw, then you're feeding raw and they're eating meat. And so that's great. If you're feeding kibble, then I would suggest that you make sure that the ingredients on the back of your kibble bags, that at least the first 3 are meat products. I would really encourage that you make sure that your kibble, if you're feeding kibble, doesn't have, berries and corn and all of that. Your ferrets should not be eating that stuff. There is some great videos on YouTube that go really in depth into the feeding process and what to feed your ferrets and how to do that. So I'm going to kind of leave that up to the people who are really, really more educated than I am on that and have a little bit more information on how to switch your ferrets from types of foods. But I will say that what you feed your ferrets will contribute to the scent of their excrements, which contribute to the scent of your ferrets in your home. Number 6 is to wash your ferrets' toys, like their plastic toys. Any of their plastic balls, my ferrets have a ball pit, so their balls, their tunnels, their water bowls, make sure that you're washing all of that stuff. Make sure that it's being cleaned when you're cleaning your bedding. All that stuff needs to be cleaned, and they touch it and they play with it, and as a result, it gets a little scent on it. So tip number 6 would be to make sure that you're cleaning your ferret toys off. I don't think you have to do this every 5 minutes, but I do this like once a month with their plastic toys particularly, and I just scrub them and make sure that they're good and clean. And now with their water bowls, I empty their water bowls twice a day and refill them. Food bowls, all of that cleaned constantly, at least twice a day, only because I'm changing out their stuff, and I do that twice a day. But as far as their plastic toys, and they don't really have a lot of plastic toys, so let me just put a disclosure here. Ferrets shouldn't have a lot of plastic anything, but my ferrets have these plastic balls, like those little ping pong balls, and those all need to be cleaned. So that's tip number 6. Things that I do that really help to make my ferrets' musty smell manageable. When people come over to my house, they typically don't even know that I have ferrets until they come upstairs and they see them. Or, I have a lot of animals. For those of you who are a little unfamiliar with my channel, I have 2 dogs, I have 5 cats, and I have 3 fish tanks and a tank of goldfish babies, because my goldfish had babies unexpectedly. I wasn't trying to breed them, and they had guppies. They're not guppies. My goldfish did not have guppies. My goldfish had goldfish fry. But anyway, I have a lot of animals, and my point to this is that maintaining the care for all of those animals makes it so that when people come into my house, that it doesn't smell like a zoo or a pet store. And the ferrets are definitely part of that. So, I can honestly say that your ferrets are gonna have a little bit of a smell. They're musty, but how bad that is really is dependent on you, is my opinion. It really, really is dependent on the owner and the care that those ferrets are given. You're never gonna eliminate all the musty smell. So just know that going into it. Is it gonna be overbearing and gross? No. Your actual little tiny ferret body, that little 1.5 pounds of 2 pounds of ferret, is not gonna stink up your whole house. Not washing their bedding or changing their litter boxes, that will stink up your whole house. I promise. So that's all I got for today. Thank you for watching. And if you like this video, please click the like button. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And I'll see you later.